welcome to the She-Hulk Attorney at Law After Show. I'm the host, Jason, and look, we've got a cavalcade of stars again to join us this week to talk the second episode of She-Hulk. Rick, we've got Billy, we've got Brandon, and we've got Lo and Odor Jason. Now, we are expected our normal co-host Joe. He's running a little bit late, so we expect him to jump in on the stream. But either way, guys, here he is now. I knew it.
Well, Mr. Fashionably Late.
Mr. Fashionably Late. Here he is. All right. Okay, so yeah, we're here talking She-Hulk.
We've almost got a full Brady Bunch going on here.
Yeah, we have almost. Give me the extra three.
That would make me Alice.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah.
That's
Good look for you.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about what that episode was. All right, now let's start it off. Billy, because you know what? Can I just say this? Billy was the first one here tonight. Can I just put that out there? Very good applaud for Billy for being the first one here. Being organised, no audio issues. And because of that, Billy, you get to start it off this week. The episode was good or bad, Billy?
I thought that technically, I think this should have been part of the first episode. This seems to actually do a lot more setup than what we actually saw in the pilot. I thought that we actually get to see what company she's going to be working at for the majority of the show. We got to see majority of the supporting cast, and we got to see explanations on Titania. I like that she's a supervillain influencer. I kind of thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, that's
legitimately.
Awesome. I love
legitimately, Titania does have a verified Twitter account. Legitimate influencer.
Yeah. Of course she does. Of course she does.
Yeah. Well, of course, She-Hulk has the Tinder account too, so that's like the other thing that's canon for the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all find creative outlets in our own way.
Really? Tinder, you say?
I'm waiting for the OnlyFans.
There it was.
Out of curiosity, I'm in a very happy relationship. I'm just
hoping that they don't have something go wrong with like the cross-promotional stuff. The series showrunner has kind of bad luck with that before, because some people might know this, some people don't. The woman that's the head writer for the She-Hulk series was a writer on Rick and Morty, and she is the one that wrote the Pickle Rick episode.
Correct, 100%.
Rick on a pickle!
Capitalized on it, and that went very badly for everyone. Yeah. Please don't let Tinder result in some major screw up like McDonald's had.
hey, you know,
Szechuan sauce.
You know what? Maybe the Szechuan sauce craze will lead everybody into law school, and have everybody having some respectable jobs.
In all seriousness, though, that Szechuan sauce was amazing. If you did have any, it really was. I completely understand.
Well, Jason,
your arc going forward, 99 seasons.
99 seasons, Morty. Never gonna stop.
Right,
She-Hulk 24/7, Morty. Get the Tinder account, Morty.
What did you think of the episode, Jason?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than the pilot. The pilot to me was just a regular superhero origin story. This one is the more slice of life, just seeing what everyday life is like for somebody who's got superpowers, who's not saving the world 24/7. You would lose your job over things like that. If I was a Hulk, they wouldn't let me teach children. They would be like, get out of this building before you squash one. Not that, being a very tall man, I haven't squashed children before, but, not purposely at least. But yes, I enjoyed the slice of life stuff. I enjoyed Blonsky. Why does Blonsky have more characterization in this 30 minutes or this 5 minutes we saw him than he did in the entire Incredible Hulk movie?
Namaste.
Yes, namaste. I actually felt bad for the guy because he seemed so genuine. Now we'll see how that goes. But I really can't see them having her lose her first case with this new firm, so I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Abomination. You'll see, you cheekily changed your name there. Awesome. What did you think of the episode?
I loved it. Last week, there were some claims made saying that She-Hulk could potentially be the best show in the MCU. the best Disney Plus TV series. I am willing to say that I think it is already maybe the best sitcom-styled show, because I feel like WandaVision sometimes is being advertised as a horror show and sometimes is being teased that it was going to be like a sitcom. But She-Hulk feels like it feels like a sitcom. And so I enjoyed this episode almost as much as the last one. It's like the last one had a story. We finished that story. We moved on to the next episode. And even though results of the last episode carry into this one, it really felt like it was an easy switch into episode 2, and episode 3 I think will be just as easy to jump into. I really enjoy the pacing and how everything is moving in episode 2.
Fantastic. Rick, your thoughts, my friend?
Mate. I loved it. I absolutely enjoyed this episode. I thought the writing was still very solid in this episode. I love the humor. It's more consistent. It's still consistent from there was jokes that we had from the first episode leading into the second episode as well, which is great. I love drunk Jen. That whole scene when she's in the bar, she's She-Hulk, she's knocking down a whole heap of piss, and then she just goes back to Jen, and then it's like a different, her immune system and everything else goes out of whack, and she's drunk, but she just executed that phenomenally well. Abomination storyline was great, which opens up a lot of those meta moments which we've all heard about and seen, which was just great. And yeah, it's just a solid. I love the whole dynamics with the family. We get to see a bit more of Jen's family. Her father, I'm thinking it may be her brother or cousins or something like that, which was really, really cool. They felt like a real family to me. Unlike the Miss Marvel family, they just seemed not quite as a family and consistent to this one. So the only criticism I have in this whole episode, it's too short. It was too short, but that's a good thing because it wanted me to have more, and I'm excited to see what they bring in the next episode. So, really, really cool.
All right, Joe.
I didn't get to see it. I just wanted to hang out. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, I'm going to boot him.
Just wanted to chill.
See you later. Yeah. Well, first of all,
we don't want your con round here.
Cousin Larry returning to the small screen just flipped me out. I saw him and I was like, oh my god! And that made my day. Her playing her dad. I was a big fan of the original show that he and Bronson Pinchot were in.
Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just realized that was him.
Yeah.
Wow.
I spotted that straight away.
Yeah, it was right off the bat. I mean, he aged.
Amazing.
But
you spoke to Malky. I'm in.
He looks familiar to me. I didn't know why. I did have to look that up. Like, who was that actor? Because I could tell he was familiar, but he was giving me very big Grandpa Joe Chocolate Factory vibes with that mustache and that hair.
Oh, he's like, I'm going to lay here for about 40 years. And
way more productive, though.
Way more productive.
Grandpa Joe is a scumbag.
Until he needed water.
What's that? Charlie got a winning chocolate bar? Look at this, I can walk!
Oh, yeah, word. All those bedpans you did, Charlie, I didn't need it the whole time.
Wow.
I went there. I thought the pace was really quick. I feel like Rick said, it went so quick. I remember being like, what? Well, that was short. Like, what happened? But it really wasn't. It was just done so well that it moved along smoothly, and it was quite enjoyable. What'd you think, Jason?
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, look, I don't think I'm adding anything new to what you guys said. I thought it was great too. It was a lot of fun. It was, it's. I don't think I'm surprised at it, but I'm enjoying it. This is the show I was kind of hoping for and expecting. So it's kind of hitting the mark for me, So yeah, I don't have too many complaints at all. I'm shocked. I am shocked at the world building though. There seems to be a lot of world building within the MCU, within this show. And obviously being the producer here, I've got a bit of an advantage. I've got images and clips and that I can show. And I actually thank Rick for getting some of these this week. But
Yeah,
when we
Rick.
talk about world building, and you know what? I reckon I'm getting into references territory.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I don't have the music yet. But there you go.
There it is.
We are getting into references music. Yeah. So thank you for doing the music. So let's get into that. Here we go.
Wolverine.
This is the biggest world
Yes.
building
Yeah.
Yeah,
Straight
I
off
mean,
the
we're talking
bat,
about that. Yeah.
shout out to Jason, who during the week put up the chat. The first picture he put up was the picture of the Iron Man 3s, which you can see here. I did crack at that when I first saw that. That was the thing that grabbed my eye. It wasn't until the second viewing I caught these extra bits that we will get to see. So the first one is man fights with metal claws in a bar brawl.
That could be anybody.
Does that?
Yeah, that could be
Put it out
anybody.
there. Does it confirm Wolverine? Pretty much. It'd be it'd be dick moving if it wasn't. So,
And Marvel's not known for that at all. Quicksilver.
Another Ralph Boner?
Boner.
yeah. What's his name? Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner, yeah.
All right, and the other thing was, why is there a giant statue of a man sticking out of the ocean? Which is
It's about time
obviously-
someone asked that.
Yeah.
Is it
Correct.
not? No
It's
one
more
had
amazing.
addressed
There are
it
people that
since
remember
that
the
movie
Eternals.
came out almost 3 years ago.
Okay, folks, can I say something here? So this has been an ongoing thing since Marvel Phase 4 started, is, you know, why isn't anybody mentioning the gigantic hand and head sticking out of the ocean? Have we forgotten that this is Earth 616, where literally half the population vanished overnight and was gone for 5 years? There's something in the sky every couple of weeks that's trying to kill everybody. A Hulk breaks down the city every few days. These people are over it. A guy shows up in the ocean. Who cares? What's trying to kill us today?
It's
Nobody
like a
cares.
factor.
What's on The Bachelor tonight? I want to watch us. I want to watch this before Thanos is resurrected.
That
Not
is
to mention
true, that
Titania
is true.
live
You know,
streaming her rampages throughout traffic courts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, the reference that they had in there, I don't have the pic of it, is when they flash back to showing Abomination fighting with Wong from Shang-Chi.
Right.
And there was an issue around, where does that set this show in the timeline? Now, if you watch that clip, because you think, oh, it's happening right now, that's the feed we're getting. It's not. The footage, they just emerged. So apparently, from that, you can kind of reverse engineer. It's about 6 months after the setting of Shang-Chi.
Well, also in the after credits scene of Shang-Chi, you see Human Bruce with his arm still in a sling.
Right.
That's right.
So he is. That was definitely before the She-Hulk
And
series.
if you watch the episode, the news report actually says some footage has been uncovered,
yes.
Yes.
which then covers them for an independent. Not someone could have buried that for months in a drawer somewhere.
What I do try to keep in mind is thinking about, and I don't know, we weren't prepped on the references that you're going to talk about, but Abomination.
That's it. That's all the obvious ones I had.
Oh.
Cool. So Abomination does reference his 7 friends, which leads me to believe that was a tease for the Thunderbolts.
I was
Yep.
thinking the same thing. There's a good
Yep.
replacement for Red Hulk since John Hurt's
Oh.
not John Hurt. What's
William Hurt.
William Hurt. Since
He
William
passed
Hurt
away. Yeah.
since William Hurt is not with us and John Hurt's not with us anymore either.
Yeah.
Oh, John Hurt died.
No.
Yeah.
Several years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hurting hearing that. Oh,
Yeah.
come on, it's
Oh,
My goodness.
Chad.
But we know that the Thunderbolts are being formed. We know that there's at least 7 soulmates, so we know that this is a seemingly fully stocked team. If this is the Thunderbolts that he's referring to, so it's
His
gotta
7
be
friends who
happening-
bought him some land.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be happening after at least the TV series that we've already seen on the MCU. I don't know when exactly, but people have been formed. A group, a coalition is together that has purchased a very large home for the Abomination.
Yeah. His 7 soulmates, in fact.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Very large, nice home. Kind
Did
of like
anyone
Billy's.
else pick up any?
Yeah, almost as big as Billy's. Yeah.
Did anybody else pick up any references while watching it that I've missed out on?
There was one really funny joke that I enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
When asking about Blonsky, Bruce was giving his perspective, and he said that he's a different person now, literally.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
true, literally.
It is completely. It
was
reminded
a nice
me of.
link.
They approached it the same way with Iron Man 2, if you remember that. When obviously he'd been replaced, Terrence Howard had been gone, and and when Tony Stark comes into the court, he comes in and goes, "I'm here, get over it." I'm here, it's me, get over it. In another reference, I'm Rhodey now.
Yeah.
Well, I like that they approached that kind of the same way, but it was a great joke.
Yeah. And if we're talking references, we gotta talk about Bruce on board the Sicarian ship,
Yes.
going off into space.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
that was what I was
exactly
gonna
why
mention.
he would be going off of space, why Hulk would be heading for a planet.
Yeah.
But, I'm kind of thinking that
Paternity
perhaps
case.
there might be a planet in Hulk's future.
But how do they do that now? Because it would be so and very normal for Marvel. Civil War is nothing like the comic books, but they've kind of already done a chunk of Planet Hulk already with Ragnarok.
He has a son.
Yes,
So-
He's got to go.
That is
He's
the
got
only
to
thing I
go be
can
his
think of. He's going
daddy.
to some car and he meets,
Yeah, he's
meets
got to
his
go
kid.
meet. What's his son's name?
Scar.
Scar. Yes, he's
Scar.
he's gonna go meet Scar and be a daddy and probably get beat up by Scar. Yeah,
Everybody beats up the Hulk. I feel
Yes.
like I could take the Hulk.
that'll be
Yeah,
the.
ever since
That's the
Marvel
title of the
Hulk
next
before
movie.
we
They won't
kind of
call it Planet
became
Hulk.
a
It's just
bunch of
everybody
the
beats up
MCU.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Everybody beats.
You know what I want
Hulk.
to see? I
What?
want to see a Chet Hulk.
A what?
I mean, isn't he the only kid now in the family that doesn't have Hulk powers? Chet.
Yeah, that's right. He's
Okay.
just
Yeah, I want
chilling.
to see a Chet Hulk.
I wanted to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Stan Lee Hulk. Since everything's canonized now, there's a Stan Lee Hulk out there somewhere.
That was running around after he
Yes.
drank the juice.
He's instead of roaring, he's just jumping everywhere, going "Excelsior! This is the greatest thing ever!"
He
I
would have been doing
definitely
that
would
for
love
about
to see that,
12,
like in like
13
that
years
newspaper
ago.
article or something, like in one of the like cutscenes. There's like a Easter egg.
Yes.
Speaking of the Easter eggs, did anybody use that QR code and get that free She-Hulk
Ah.
comic?
I heard about it. I didn't do
I
it
heard
though.
about it, but I didn't do it. But
I'm already
apparently,
paying for
if you
Marvel.
scan it, you'll get the first edition digitally.
Yeah.
I'm already paying for Marvel Unlimited, so I have all the stuff digitally already.
Oh.
And
Fancy.
it's like, thanks a lot for these
Yeah.
free QR codes you're giving people.
It just
Yeah.
didn't occur to me to pause the television and go, "There's a QR code. I've got to scan it." Like, it washes over me.
think-
Like,
What?
I didn't
You
look
don't
at
do that?
I think we just have to assume that every time we see a QR code, we better scan it because
it,
there might be
yeah.
some free
I
goodies
was
or
thinking
swag
you
or,
did-
maybe
you
two
did
girls,
the
one
American
cup
thing.
just because somebody's evil somewhere.
I just thought it was one of those another
Two
weird
Hulks,
thing
one
Americans
cup.
do.
That's the name of the next Hulk movie.
Yeah, 2 Hulks, 1 cup.
Oh.
That's going.
There are mental images right now I can't get rid of.
You're welcome.
Maybe that's why where Hulk's actually going in the ship. Maybe Grandmaster's got a birthday coming up. They don't want to, and they don't want Hulk to miss out on the orgy. So
Yeah, that's
why.
true. I
Who's
pardon
that
you.
poor person
from
on the end
life.
of Hulk being part of an orgy?
Oh.
Anyway, we're going into some wrong places here, people. Are we done with references? Because
yeah.
Yeah.
this has been turning into the next segment anyway, which is called Free Fall.
Wow!
Thank you. Thank you, electric guitar.
Yeah,
Thank you
right?
to the band. I
Yeah.
feel like, we're late night now. We've got our own band now.
Yeah, we're at 9 o'clock, late night here.
Here we go. All right, this is the free for all part, guys. What worked? What didn't work? What did you want to bring up? Anything bothering you at this point?
What
Is it
really
pissing
worked-
you off that Disney and these shows are always so bloody short? But
The shortness is kind of irritating, but what really worked was the She-Hulk domestic, where she's like doing chores for her dad all over the house.
bringing all that water
They
in.
bring all that water in and everything. It's like, oh, this is funny. Like I thought that worked really well. What also worked for me, especially, was you didn't have too much of a main protagonist in this episode.
I
wasn't
think
a-
you got to look at the boss though. Eventually, that's who I reckon
Yeah.
will be revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eventually, we're gonna get there, but so much happened in this episode. Her searching for a new job. I thought for sure she was gonna interview at Matt Murdock, but that never came into fruition. But it was really cool to see how well they did without having somebody to fight. Like they just gave you a good
that
story.
shot you just brought up? I just want to mention that. I loved it because if you notice the back, you know how she's sitting still and the background's changed?
Yeah.
And it starts off at a really, like the background's really nice, high rise and all that. And as those backgrounds change, like the level gets lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
Some of that, you know, she's at some dirt lawyer's office trying to get a job and she can't go. Just from a filmmaking perspective, I thought it was a great little artistic choice.
I did notice that it was.
Yeah, that was
good.
really cool. Yeah. Well, that's all I had. So,
Rick, haven't you, Rick? You've been pretty quiet tonight, mate. What was some good bits?
no,
What bits you liked? Did you?
I just enjoyed it. I just enjoyed the whole lot. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to avoid off social media because there's a lot of people crapping on it. Because a lot of people have obviously seen 4 episodes and we've only seen the first 2. Obviously coming in next
I
week.
haven't seen any spoilers anywhere. Actually, I'm lucky.
Oh, it's
same.
Yeah. But you know, next week we've got D23 coming in, and it's Disney Day next week.
They're gonna.
So we're expecting something big next. Episode.
Matt Murdock next week, baby. Matt Murdock, baby.
Nah, I reckon they're gonna announce a
something
chunk of
big.
Phase 6.
Yeah.
Phase
They're,
6.
they're going to
Are we in
announce.
Phase 4?
I'm going to tell you right now. They're going to announce Deadpool 3. They're going to announce the cast of the Thunderbolts. I think that's going to be their 2 main things.
Yeah, I think yes.
I think we're gonna get X-Men. I'm gonna get a new Wolverine. That's my prediction.
reckon?
I would like that. Yeah.
Who do you want to play as Wolverine?
You know the dude from he wants to do it too. The dude from not Umbrella Academy.
David Glover.
David Glover, is that his
From
name?
Kingsman?
No.
The Kingsman dude.
The Kingsman dude,
Yeah,
thank you, thank you,
Targon
yes.
Aragon
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Edgerton, yeah.
He's a good actor.
I can see him doing
He's
it.
a good actor. He's short, and he's in really good shape. Like we were working out yesterday.
Is he
so-
hairy though?
He looks like a baby.
Well, I mean, Wolverine doesn't age, so this helps.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to hear that.
You know,
because I like Wolverine looking like a hairy troll. As much as
Yes.
was a good actor, I still always missed I sort of like what Hero Illustrated back in the '90s used to say like their ideal picks. They would pick like Harvey Keitel, Kurt Russell.
Kiefer Sutherland was always in the mix
Yeah.
for Wolverine.
Danny
yeah.
DeVito.
Danny.
I thought,
But of course, guys, it took an Australian to come in and make it iconic.
Correct.
Of course.
And you know
Aussie,
the
Aussie.
thing. The thing about Hugh Jackman was so iconic in that role. You know, if they do cast a comics accurate Wolverine, somebody who's short, stocky, and hairy, there's going to be millions of people online going, "That's not what Wolverine looks like. He's supposed to be tall and handsome."
Oh, you mean like Gomez Adams?
Yes, like Gomez Adams. They cast a dude that looked just like the Gomez Adams comics, and now
they're
everybody's
complaining.
losing their mind. Oh yeah,
Oh,
we can't
my
have a
God.
Latino man playing Gomez Adams. Oh my gosh.
Hey, you know, Blomsky. I was watching this episode with my son, right? And you know that scene with Blomsky where he starts to reveal, like, the fact that, you know, I thought I was the good guy. I thought I was going to be Captain America. I was ordered by the government sanction and da-da-da. And my son basically hated the fact what he goes, they've done the same thing to him that they do to all Marvel villains. They humanize them. Why can't a villain be a villain?
Because it's boring.
Yeah,
sometimes
he's had
that actually does work with some villains. There's some
yeah,
characters
but I
where-
think this. That's what
like
I
Absorbing
argued.
Man,
I
I
argued
thought
no.
like, in the Ang Lee Hulk that was kind of dumb making the dad Absorbing Man because Absorbing Man is just a one note like stupid like thug.
Is that what happened at the end? Because I couldn't see anything.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I heard was and I'm just like, what's going on? Are there more Hulk poodles? What's going on?
But,
Oh
you
no.
know, but the thing is, the reason I mentioned that too is because there seems to be a growing culture of this group of young people, millennials, around, you know, the mid-20s, who have had it with Marvel. Marvel fatigued. Like he said, this is a kid like we grew him up on Marvel stuff, like and Star Wars and things like that, and he loved it, and it was his passion. But it's interesting now. He thinks that Marvel. He goes. He can't even go what and half the films he grew up watching. And he's not alone. I've been seeing more and more TikToks. All these fans going, like, especially around what they did to Blonsky. I thought it was genius. I think they take it in the wrong context. This is complicating the issue about the fact that he was given drugs he shouldn't have been by the government. I think it's a great development for his character.
Or is he
I
lying?
agree. Well,
That's
yeah.
right.
Or is he- that's right.
That's
You
the thing.
think it's comedy
took it
wash
as-
because he had the British kind of accent. That's what made it sounded comical when he talked, because he talked very casually. But it's the message behind it, which is the really serious meat on the bones here.
I mean, I interpreted it as a lie told by a fantastic actor.
Mm.
You think Blonsky? Sorry, you think the character's lying?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe the
Yeah.
I believe the character is lying.
Yeah.
I believe there's
don't
absolutely truth
actually.
there. He was in the
So you think he's pulling
military.
the slattery?
He was employed to do a job, but we saw him volunteer, and we know that he could have stopped at any time. Him going up.
I do believe him when he says he thought he was going to be the hero, though.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah, but until what point? Until what point?
Well,
did-
a villain is
you
a
know,
hero in their own story anyway, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so-
what.
The most convincing lies are the lies told with a nugget of truth.
He's like,
Our friend Garrick
I
said
thought it
that.
was the
Yes,
lies we tell ourselves.
Absolutely.
the
Well, that's interesting,
humanizing
because I took
someone,
it...
humanizing someone doesn't necessarily mean we're making somebody a hero.
Right.
I will say that Abomination Blonsky, he does look like a three-dimensional character now, but I don't think being three-dimensional doesn't mean that he was this innocent person who's been turned into a monster and this is all a misconception.
I think that's where my son had an issue with it.
Right.
But it was fine. We were able to solve the disagreement by kicking him out of the house. For even-
You no longer live here. Get out.
Well, I appreciate your
Well, he doesn't.
restraint.
He owns his own home, so...
But I will, you know what? This is the
Oh.
free fall, so I'm gonna make a complaint about something.
Okay, go for it.
She-Hulk, the series, feels like such an organically funny series, but Marvel tries maybe a little too much to be funny, and so in this series, I found that there were still jokes and moments that didn't need to be told. You know, like, for example, we have Jen Walters going onto the raft. She's having this humorous scene, I guess, with the prison guard, and she's making Silence of the Lamb references, and the guard has to go and tell her, "Ma'am, this is a prison." And it like that one joke, that one scene, just kind of felt unnecessary. I didn't
It
need.
was such low hanging fruit. It
Like,
was the most obvious joke to make.
Yeah, and I just felt like, I don't know, it felt like filler, it felt like padding, it felt like it was just out of all the jokes and genuinely funny moments that actually happened in the show that I loved and still am giving 2 thumbs up for. But sometimes, especially when we're getting to this dramatic moment, this is her first major case. She's about to have this moment with Blonsky, and it's I felt like this was a moment that needed tension, not comedy, and I didn't need the guard to remind her that this is a prison. She's a lawyer. She's on her job. Like, if we're going on with the idea that comedy is just her anxious tick, then we got to add her to the list of every other Marvel character who comedy is their anxious tick. Like, let her do her
that's
job
interesting.
professionally and go in there and save the joke for the next scene. There were even parts where we laughed when Blonsky was there. Like, we can go 60 seconds without a joke. We really can. The kids,
their comedy can be
all of
done-
us,
Yeah.
respect us enough to give us 60 seconds
Yeah.
without a joke. Like, we're okay.
The show's smart enough to have the one-liners.
Yes.
You don't need those kind of obvious jokes, but even just the observational or situational joke, like the fact that she's wearing bigger clothes now. She's at this situation where she goes, look, especially in that scene, she's wearing these baggy clothes. I can't remember. I don't think she ever made reference for it. It was just the situation she's in now. She's like, I'm not going to go for clothes every day. I'll just wear bigger clothes when I'm normal. That's funny. That works in its own way. Not rammed down your throat. And I think that's the issue. You feel like it's being... But this is, I've got to say, Brandon, a comedy show. So they are going to ram everything down our throats in that regards.
Yeah, but it's not comedy like Thor Ragnarok or Thor Love and Thunder comedy. That style of comedy, you know what I mean?
I think you're heading into that area, though. I think this is heading into the slapstick kind of Taika Waititi kind of humor. I think there's elements of it there.
Look, the show is absolutely funny, and I'm not going to go and knock it over one thing. I just feel that it is, because it is so funny, sometimes some jokes just feel maybe not out of place, but just they're not all going to hit, especially when you're genuinely funny. When you're genuinely funny, the weaker jokes just kind of stand out to me. That's
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, too. They could trim about 10% of the jokes here and it would be tighter, I think.
But we also had the conversation, when you look at some of the older MCU films, not really the shows, but the films, there was a more balance.
Yeah.
And maybe because they found statistically that comedy makes more money, they're leaning harder onto the comedy. But these characters are already three-dimensionally formed characters in the pages of these comics. I think letting them have these genuine moments, like we saw Jen Walters have a real heart-to-heart with Bruce last week.
Yeah.
And that was great. And we saw Blonsky have some real emotion, and that was great. That's how come when I say that I could use just a little more tension, just like at a moment like that. That's all. Not you know, just 60 seconds of.
While we're in free for all, we have some comments from the audience.
Yep, blow it away.
All right, Bamba Langa. I hope I'm saying that right. Which happens to be my nickname as a kid, Bamba. She-Hulk is dope. I like it so much. It's like the books as far as comic and meta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the comic Easter egg too. I hope that's part of the show. I'm going to be looking for those QR codes. I totally agree. And then peace, Brandon. Great stuff. So I'm assuming Brandon knows this too.
Yeah. There we go. He's paid his mate to say positive things.
Like don't make it obvious, but come in and say good shit about me. Like,
so we had your mum last week. Now we
had my mom last week.
Yeah. We got
my mom talking about panties in the clap last week. So that's always fun. My mom is unfortunately very asleep this week.
That's it. Well, guys, is there anything else anyone else wants to add in free for all before we get out
I
of here?
got something that I want to add in.
Billy's been holding on to this. He's been real quiet over there.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well,
I
kind of hope that we get some of our Avengers drinking buddies. I want to see, like, maybe throughout Phase 4 or Phase 5, Spider-Woman and Captain Marvel spending time with Jen. Basically, for the Avengers, like, those three were always, like, thick as thieves in the comic books, and those were the drinking buddies. In the X-Men books, you always had Wolverine, Colossus, and Nightcrawler. In the Avengers, you had Jessica, Jen, and Carol.
I
kind of want to see
what they do. I can guarantee you, the moment, like, I can see them putting a nod to that in a Secret Wars or something when they get everyone together. I think that's when you're probably most likely. I mean, we'd love to see it in the show, but what? Maybe it's a possibility. We had already had Carol Danvers appear. Spoilers, by the way.
On Miss Marvel,
at the end of Miss Marvel. So she's willing. You never know, but
and you do have a precedence of Venom. Because Venom was drinking at a tiki bar which the Hulk had built. It kind of looks like the same background. If you remember that throw. Yeah, I know it's a deep cut, but
that's just stretch.
But wait, I'm gonna stretch it even more, baby.
It's just a
wait.
reset. That's it.
No,
gave me
it's not a
one more
reset.
time,
It's
Joe.
on purpose. It's on purpose. And
Wait,
and if you recall, the first meeting between Venom and Wolverine happens at a bar too. So you got the Wolverine throw, you've got that
Shiver.
Venom, and like
Yeah,
taffy,
I just-
baby, like taffy.
Stretch it out.
And yes, it's
Stretch it out.
all right. And so yeah, look. The thing is, though, there's a big flaw in all that idea. I love the ideas. I want them. But you're talking Sony characters. You've got Spider-Woman. That's Sony.
Oh, they could replace her with Jessica
And
Jones.
Venom
I
and
mean,
Sony-
that's what Brian
and their
Michael Bendis did when he
relationship-
created her.
That's it. Well, their relationship isn't as tight
So-
as you think between
In time-
Disney and Sony anymore.
In time, I'm sure they'll all meet. They'll have shawarma and everything. Just give it time. Let's not
Yeah.
rush something. Because we've seen what happens when projects get rushed, and let
You
these
know what I
relationships
can't
Looking at
wait
you,
for?
DC.
Yeah. You know what I'm looking forward to? An era when we'll get to a point in this Marvel Cinematic Universe where everybody's desired event series or origin story has been done. And so, we won't have this, it's going to be this storyline because we've already kind of seen that storyline.
Yeah.
That's for the Marvel I can't wait to see because rather than expectation, we'll get to a point where things will hit us and we will just be hopefully surprised by it. But I think most of us now, when we go into this stuff, we're so preset in how does this connect to the next thing that we go crazy with it. I mean, I'm one of the worst for it. Like I start making up, that meme from I'm Sunny in Philadelphia with the wall chart and that.
right.
We all get.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
The string
look,
theory, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. I'm someone who doesn't.
Oh, that's
Spectrum
English.
Sanctorum.
Just kidding.
No,
Just kidding.
Spectrum Sanctorum. It's a reference to the channel.
Yeah. I one of the things I do envy about some DC films is that they can be really tied to themselves and not everything ties to everything. And one of the things I guess I'm looking forward to with She-Hulk is like, I know that there's a Frogman coming and I'm looking for some maybe D-list villains, D-list heroes, like really bottom of the barrel people that don't connect to anybody. It kind of reminded me when we had, it's funny we brought up Jessica Jones, when the Wizard showed up in one episode of Jessica Jones. Just some random
Like
low
deep
budget.
cut. Yeah.
Like I don't need everything to tie in. You can give me some random superhero. Even in Netflix's Sandman, in Netflix's Sandman, there was an episode that featured references to Dr. Destiny and a Silver Age Sandman superhero. And they made these references without origin stories, and they did it without expecting people to know who they are. They did these episodes without telling you who they are. Just watch it and enjoy it and watch it unfold.
We
And
got Jack of Hearts. Hopefully, will come into this. Speaking of like deep cut characters.
That would be a deep cut. But
Baron von Strucker.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who can show up. I'm currently reading something with She-Hulk and Jack of Hearts now. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes in the books.
What do you think Baron von Strucker would do? Do you think he'd be suing for what? The bump in the back of his head when he gets knocked out in Age of Ultron?
Oh, he'd be doing
Yeah,
something
maybe.
super petty.
It's like, I was killed by an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that show's not canonical.
Yeah. And I think that's where we kind of want it to go. We want that kind of quirky episodes where, a D-grade villain's being sued by shop owners for damaging the shop. Or,
that would be funny. Yeah.
yeah, that kind of like everyday kind of impact that these superheroes are having, and the fact that they get called out and been held responsible for it. I think that's what we're.
My mom's awake. She says hi.
Oh, hi,
everybody.
man.
But she's
I'm
asleep.
going to bed.
What's going on?
What's
What's
going
going on? Is that like a judgmental kind of what's
Namaste.
going on?
Maybe.
Chill.
And then
Namaste.
Thunderbolts is going to be fire.
Yes.
It
Which
is.
I totally
It is.
agree.
Absolutely.
And
All
then
right, guys.
we got some love. Great show. Mad
Okay.
love, fellas.
Oh wait, I got one last thing to chime in, at least for
One
anybody.
last thing. Ooh.
There we
Okay.
go.
For those of you that are suffering Marvel fatigue,
Yep.
but if you still want to like watch something in between, just like as a palate cleanser between this episode and the next episode, maybe binge watch a couple episodes of Orphan Black.
Oh
It was
yeah.
actually
Oh,
a
yeah.
show with Tatiana Maslany before she did She-Hulk. She played 10 different characters over the span of 5 seasons, most of them
Obsessed,
interacting
wow.
at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
No.
a very
No, that-
great series.
She's a
You know
fantastic
what else you can
performer.
watch? You can watch The Power of J Skull.
Yeah.
On Spectrum
You
and
can.
Forum,
Yeah, that's a
and
great
all
idea.
Of our
Yeah.
other shows.
Like
you should
Monday
probably
for the new
subscribe.
Lower Decks. The Squadron.
Yeah, we've got new lower decks coming out this week on Captain's Quadrant, as Joe said. Yes, the Power of J Skull. We're watching a fantastic show at the moment. Can't wait to talk about that next week.
Yeah,
What else we got?
and
We've
so
got
much
a
more
new
to
show
come.
coming soon. Yeah, I'm gonna throw you boys under the bus. Looking forward.
Oh yes.
That's
finally-
coming very soon. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about all the things happening in September.
Word.
I'm
Yes.
excited for it. We hope you're excited for it. And, if you hit the subscribe button on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, you can stay aware of everything that we have going on in our channel.
Word.
All right. Should we give anybody want to plug their social media? Joe, you're going last because you're
Primal is amazing. Bamba Langa is he's my new best friend. I love that show.
All right. Okay, you can find me at Pop Culture Spread. The channel I do with my best buddy in the world, Rick, over there. Come and join me. Come and find me there, as well as at CQ Jason on TikTok, where I don't post anything. I just stalk and judge others.
I'm
right.
judging your tweets.
Go on, Joe. Go and get it out. Let's see how quick you can get it done.
Hey, follow me and Billy on To Be Seen on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
No.
I learned.
Jeez.
Oh,
That was quick.
I learned. I got
All
it
right,
from
Ricky, go.
Lauren Odor. So
Guys, exactly what Jace just said. Follow us on a Pop Culture Spread. The handles are on everything exactly the same. So just search Pop Culture Spread. TikTok, Instagram, and all the rest of them.
Really
my
fun.
handle's there on the nameplate. Just go to @Lewis or Brandon on Twitter.
oh,
and
that's smart. I
Instagram
should need to
and-
do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
there it is.
Law and
Follow
Odor.
me there.
You can catch me online at jasonroygaston.com or on TikTok at jasonroygaston. If you know my first, middle, and last name, you can find me. Say it 3 times, I'll appear in a puff of black smoke.
And since Billy doesn't have all those things, you can follow him at To Be Seen as well. And Bamba says goodnight. Have a great week.
Good night, Bamba.
Appreciate it.
Right, guys, we will see you next week for episode 3 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law.